Hi, everyone. This is Annalisa with Inside Real Estate, and I wanted to thank you so much for being here today to join me for a recap of the kvCORE new features and updates. So it should be a pretty short and sweet this week. And also just a reminder, there will be no webinar or webinars the week of July 4th, so next week. Now, just so you have it, I do have this doc link that I'm going to drop into chat for you. And if someone could just drop into the chat and message me just to let me know you can see my shared screen and hear me and that we're good to go, then I'll know that we are good to go and that you can hear me, see the screen, and we're all groovy. All right, good to go, good to go, good to go. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, there's been some groovy new updates that have come out. And before we get into those, I do want to talk a bit about feature requests. And someone's saying, oh, I can't see the screen. Okay, so if somebody's like, hey, I can hear you, I can't see the screen, find the little blue or orange medallion for GoToWebinar. It's going to be sitting down in your tray. So if you look over to my screen here, you can see this little blue medallion underneath my Spotify icon. So if you look for that and click on it, it'll actually bring up the shared screen. So getting back to the new features and updates, you have the ability to actually receive these updates, and we send them to you every week. So every week we're going to send out an email with a recap of what's been updated or important items of which we think you should be aware of. We're also going to send those out via intercom chat, and you can access all of our updates via your dashboard anytime, and it's really easy to do. So if we go into a dashboard and we look to the bottom right and we want to learn about feature requests or submit one or see what's out there, we can just click the little chat bubble at the bottom right. And then, you can actually go in and see previous release information. So when we send information out to you, there's going to be all of these little records of conversations, and you'll see information we have sent that we believe is information you should be apprised of. So when you look at your chat, you can see all of the previous conversations and click through these. So just a few days ago, we sent out information on some new open house mobile app features that talks about what we've added, how you can utilize it, and so forth. So you can actually go through these anytime to catch up on what we've released. Now, when we are speaking to different types of new features and new product updates that you want to physically go check out, you can also do that via your dashboard. Super easy. On this left-hand side of your dashboard, of course, we have the core learning portal where you can take all those tutorials. However, this support portal with the little question mark here, this is your gateway to all of our written documentation. So this is where when you click on that question mark where it says support portal, it actually opens up all of the technical documentation for kvCORE, and it breaks it out per section. Or you can click on help articles and kind of break it out into these. But these two sections here, product updates, are going to show you everything we have added and when. So you can always come back to this. And the neat thing about this is if you're like, hey, there was something about rentals that came out, what was that? Just hold down Control F, or if you're on a Mac, it might be Command F. I'm not positive, but I think so. And just do a keyword search. And when you type in that keyword, the page is going to jump down to those matching keywords. And then if you have more than one match, then you can arrow up and down to see those additional results. So then you can learn about min-max price increments adjusted for rentals or something like that. So you can navigate these very, very easily, which is pretty nice. So you've got product updates here and new features. Same idea. It's the same list of new features added in, and the other one is updated elements to the product already existing. So always feel welcome to check out the portal to check out your product updates and new features. Be on the lookout for an email coming from us, as well as those updates pushed out via chat. Now, if you want to view or vote up current feature requests that are out there, or even submit your own, I'm going to walk you through how to navigate those. Now, on your dashboard, when you open up the chat, you can actually click this little blue button that says Share Feedback. Now, this is pretty neat because, excuse me, because when you click on this, you can actually pop up here to the top and search to see if anyone has submitted a feature request of which you are seeking. So if you're like, now something about alerts on desktop, or maybe it's, you know, behaviorals or a trigger, you can just type in a keyword and it's going to bring up the most recent. And we can see right now, product has this one under review. And you can see this little heart that has 10. So that means 10 users of kvCORE has looked at this and voted it up by clicking the heart. And this is something you can do as well. So when you click into this to read more about it, you know, you can read about the information of what was submitted. You can add your own commentary to say, yes, this would be super helpful because it'll help me with XYZ. And you can click the little heart to vote it up. And then when you've clicked it, the heart becomes a filled in heart. Now, going back, you can also submit a feature request. So when you click on the share feedback, maybe you don't find what you're looking for here prior, and you want to create a feature request, just click this little share feedback. It'll be a white and red looking button, but when you hover over it, it turns red and kind of flips the colors. So when you click share feedback, this is where you can actually go in and type in what you're seeking. And in the description, type out the details. You know, how will this benefit all users? And then you would choose, of course, which product you're going to assign this to. So if it's about the app, you would do mobile. If it's a WordPress add-on, of course, you would choose that, or, you know, kvCORE for the all together. And then click share, and it will be sent over to the product team for review. Now I'm going to pause a moment here and pull the questions out just to see if anything has popped in while I was speaking here. And Tom's saying, hey, can you vote down a feature if you don't think it's a good idea? There isn't really a vote down. However, you can use the section where you can type in some commentary if you do have important elements you'd like to share, or a perspective you would like to share that you think is important for product to know and understand. I hope that helps. All right. So again, you've got your new features and updates that'll be emailed out to you, sent out via chat by intercom, and you can check them out on the support portal. You can go in and view and vote up and comment on current feature requests, and you can submit your own feature requests. And the neat thing about this is once you submit it, if anything is changed or updated, the system will automatically send you an email with a heads up, so you are apprised of anything that's been changed or updated. All right, so let's move on down the line here to some mobile app updates. And I've added some links in here for you to take a look at on your own time. And I've also added a few videos we can watch for just a little couple minutes just to go over some of this too. So we actually redesigned our Core Open House app, and it's exclusive to you kvCORE users, which is pretty sweet. And this actually has some new features where you're able to sync between multiple devices, automatically set up search alerts for the leads, and you can search by address within that mobile app. Also within the kvCORE mobile app for all users, you can now enable push notifications that include the behaviorals. So before we had push notifications, we've just beefed it up a little bit. So if I was a lead that went and registered at your site and I've been gone for like a couple of months and I come back and I revisit, so if I've been gone 14 days plus and I come back, if you have push notifications set up on your app, you will know. We'll immediately say, hey, Annalisa's back, you should call her, see how things are going. Do I need to, you know, change anything up on alerts, what have you. Same goes if someone visits the site 5 times in the past week, has viewed a property 5 times in the last day, visits one property 3 times, visits 10 properties in the past week, or favorites a property. So these are all behaviors that the system is now going to send you a little heads up if you get those push notifications activated. Now, in speaking to those push notifications, Let's go ahead and talk a bit about the Open House app. I'm going to show you a little video about that, the Open House app, and then how it relates to the Smart CRM and hashtags. And then we'll move on to some marketplace releases. So it'll be just a moment here and the video will start playing and I will shut my gob and here we go.
Okay, there's now a new open house campaign in the Marketing Autopilot section of kvCORE. So let me show you how to find this. You're going to go to Marketing Autopilot, make sure you're in the campaign library, the first tab. You're going to go to System Campaigns right here, and if you type in open house, it should pop right up here for you, and you can add it to your library. Now that it's in my library, I can click on the open house, and I can kind of see what actions are planned, and I can start to edit when things go out. And if I click to view the template right here, I can see what's going out. So the way it's set out of the box is a 4-hour day 1. There's a call scheduled on day 2. There's a series of emails that go out. There's another call on day 10, and so on. Now, of course, you can change this however you want to change it. In order to edit the templates or copy them so that you can add your own templates to these campaigns, you're going to want to go up to Templates up top. Go to the different sections. So if I want to find the open house text message templates, they start with OH, and then I can start to change the language here in the template and then go back and add it to my campaign. So there's a stock open house campaign now available for you. This is great to use with the open house app. I believe you can trigger this based on the open house source that the open house app will give you, and it actually is configured like that. It says start when, status is new lead, and the source is open house. So out of the box it will trigger that way. So new open house campaign, again, you can configure and tweak and change it up however you want, but there's a really good starting point here for you to just go in and start to edit these individual items and know that when you meet a new lead at an open house or have them entered via the open house app, that they're going to be followed up on in a solid way.
One of the most important aspects of having your open house is being able to track who attended and sort that information very easily into dialer lists, communication lists, and just overall lists of attendees. You can do this via your Smart CRM. When you use the Open House app, a automated hashtag will actually be attached to all attendees of a particular open house. If we look at James McKay on this example, I'll go ahead and make my screen a little larger here so you can see it a little clearer. You can see there is a tag of open house 4939714 and then the date. Every open house of which you use with the open house app will actually land a open house tag similar to this with open house with the MLS number after it and then the date of the open house attached. Now you can also search these within your entire platform. And I'm going to clear my filter here on my Smart CRM to show you. On the filter, we can actually go into this and click into lead detail, scroll to hashtag and type in open house, or even the MLS number will bring it up. So I can choose the MLS number and the date of which my open house was, which is this very first one, and it will land in this field, and then I can click apply filters to see my list in its entirety. This will allow me to actually click into these boxes and mass email or mass text, even go in and add tags, different types of hashtags, change a status, etc. Now, it's also important to remember that via the marketing autopilot, you can also set up the triggers for search alerts to come in and be activated by a hashtag. So you can go into search alerts, learn more, and you have the ability to auto assign search alerts. So you can create search alert, drop in the hashtag of which is going to be manifesting. So in this case, you could create a search alert to trigger with a hashtag because you know the format of which the open house tags land. And then you can say, whenever this tag lands, I want this area to be attached as an automated area to send a listing alert. Then you can go through and add in additional areas, keywords, options, and so forth. And you'll see that when the system updates now, whenever something lands with this tag attached, all the listings in Sullivan County are going to be going out daily to that particular group of hashtags. You can also tell the system to trigger a smart campaign with a hashtag as well. And you can learn about that via the Marketing Autopilot Smart Campaigns. Now, there is a separate training to speak to smart campaigns and creating them with specific triggers that you can look for via the main smart campaign tutorial. I hope you have a great day. All right, so I hope that was a good synopsis of things of which you can do with in tandem with your open house app. So there's some real helpful information in there. And this video will also speak to the redesigned open house app. And then these are the two links for the redesigned kvCORE
Yeah, Annalisa,
exclusive, core open house app.
your screen's
Yes.
not showing anymore, so you might want to.
Oh, you mean I should share my screen?
There you go. Cool.
Huh. Thank you. So basically, we have a link to the video to talk a bit more about the Core Open House app, and we have the direct links to these redesigned apps right here. So make sure you have the correct kvCORE Open House app, and then you can get rocking and rolling with those. Now, let's go ahead and speak a bit to marketplace releases. There's been some amazing, amazing developments that have happened here. The first of which is your Agent Fire Spark sites. And we recently had a really hearty, robust webinar on Agent Fire Spark sites. My biggest takeaway, being somewhat a little shy of HTML and getting into learning it, is basically these Agent Fire Spark sites give you your kvCORE IDX property search wrapped into WordPress, and it's basically point and click design. So it's really, really easy to go in and point and click and design some customized website options. And someone's asking for the webinar link and doc link, so I just dropped that into chat again. So let's go ahead and take a look at some Agent Fire information here.
Inside Real Estate is proud to announce that if you go into the kvCORE Marketplace, you'll now find that you can fire up an Agent Fire Spark site. What is an Agent Fire Spark site? Basically, it's a hyperlocal WordPress site that fully integrates with your kvCORE system and the kvCORE IDX property search that you have on your site. Now, what Spark sites do is they give you lots more design options. You see here they have design blocks. Everything's sort of point and click. It gives you a lot more flexibility around design and around using the features that are built into WordPress. If you've ever used WordPress before, you'll know it's sort of the king of website CMS platforms. And what this allows you to do is take all the good things from your kvCORE CRM, from having the IDX search, and put it into a WordPress site, but without having all the difficulties usually associated with developing a WordPress site. Everything with Spark sites is point and click easy. They have a nice Agent Fire visual editor that makes creating content really easy. I'm kind of scrolling through on the screen here showing you some an example site from the Agent Fire page. They also have great lead generation features built in. So you see this convert pages feature that you have as an option. So with kvCORE, you have the landing page generator. With Spark sites, you get this other layer of pop-ups, landing pages, and things like that that can generate leads that work off of the WordPress system. So this is all built in and easy to fire up with Agent Fire. If you go into the kvCORE Marketplace, let me show you where to find that. So the Marketplace is the link in the left side of the dashboard right here. You'll come to a page that looks like this, and what you're going to look for is the Add a Spark Site via Agent Fire tab right here. So it's going to look like this, and depending on when you're watching this video, it could be in a different spot in the dashboard. You're going to click Get This. There's going to be a video that kind of explains it a little more, and you're simply going to click Add to kvCORE. And then there's going to be an order form that you go through, and a very sort of intuitive process for setting up your Agent Fire Spark site here. So you're going to pick your subdomain off of your main domain. You can actually use a vanity domain if you want. You can select who on your team the site is for if you're doing this from an admin dashboard, and then go through the payment information. Now, Spark sites are $120 a month, and this includes the WordPress plugin. Our normal WordPress plugin token is $60. So that includes the $60 WordPress token, and you get the fully designed Spark sites with all the other features that they offer. So really cool stuff. Agentfire Spark sites available in your Marketplace tab in kvCORE today. Go ahead and check it out. And if you need any help at all getting started with Agentfire Spark sites, as always, you can use the support tab in the bottom left or bottom right of your kvCORE dashboard.
Alrighty, now the next groovy addition we have is e-commission. This is actually very new. Basically, with e-commission, it allows you to apply in minutes, sign documents electronically, and wire up to 15 grand to your account in as little as an hour with no credit check. So just to give you an overview on this, I'm going to go ahead and go to the linked article I added in here to our support portal. And on our dashboard, I'm going to access this via the marketplace. So if you wanted to drop in here later and learn more about it, you just get into the marketplace and you should be able to scroll on down and find it. Well, maybe they're getting it added in there. But basically, I'll drop in the whereabouts in the article that I'm putting out for you. But basically, this gives you the ability to integrate with eCommission, and it's just basically an advanced service. And you can learn more by going to ecommission.com/kvCORE or by calling this number here. And then there's a little more information about it here, a little video on how it'll give you instant access to your commissions, what it costs, and benefits. So this might be something you might want to check out as well. Now, another one that I'm super excited about because it gives us the access to physical print marketing that can go very well in tandem with your electronic marketing and social media marketing. We have integrated with thanks.io, where you can actually send out postcards. And the extremely groovy thing about this is you can farm your area. So it gives you the ability to actually choose a designated area and pepper those cards out. And I've actually been the recipient of one of these cards. And it looked so real. I thought it was handwritten. I mean, I really was like, oh, hey, wait, that's nice. And I was like, wait a minute, that is amazing. So, as a consumer, I thought it was handwritten, but as a person who works for Inside Real Estate kvCORE, I was very blown away by the quality of these. So there is a neat little video that I'm going to show you now just to talk a bit about thanks.io, and then we'll proceed to the next segment. Hello there, kvCORE users. This is Annalisa, and I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough on Thanks and how to navigate things and set up your initial 10 postcards, just so you have a little familiarity with the dashboard once you get there. So via the marketplace down this left-hand side of my dashboard, I am popping into thanks.io and clicking Get This. Now, when this opens up, if I want to add this and check it out via kvCORE, I just click Add to kvCORE, and this doesn't mean you're putting anything monetary up front. You're just clicking on this to open up the conduit to thanks.io, and the system is going to create an entity for you within Thanks so you can seamlessly go between the two products. Now, once this loads up, there's going to be a video for you to watch. But if you want to check out the different types of postcards and templates you can create, you can actually click on the Send Postcard here on the upper left. And then it's going to have this little pick a category inspiration section on the left-hand side. You can actually select a category here for anniversaries, birthdays, e-commerce, all the way down to real estate and attention grabbers. Within real estate, you have a plethora, that's right, a plethora or plethora of options that will load up for you with different types of cards for different types of business calls to action. So we have buyers want to sell, as well as, curious about your home's value, what's your home worth with the dollar bill, free list of fixers, happy house anniversaries, and so forth. So you have the ability to jump in and choose pre-made templates, as well as add in different types of photos and put in layers of text. And you have a lot of text options, drawings, filters, and shapes. So I encourage you to go in and check out the templates, have a little fun designing a card of your own, and delve in. I hope you all have a great day. All right. Now, the last segment I wanted to speak to is DocuSign. And there's a couple of really important updates that really help streamline the flow between the two platforms. So now we have that DocuSign summary of transactions that's on the dashboard itself. You have the transaction placements and transaction flow, people linking for DocuSign, and kvCORE contact status update based on your DocuSign status. And to learn more about this, just click on this link on number 4 here, and it'll take you to the article where you can learn more about these updates. Now, let's talk a bit about these really 4 fantastic kvCORE updates, the first of which is API Nation. Now, some people may not be aware of what API Nation is. It's if you're a user of Zapier or you've heard of zapping, this actually gives you a little bit of an easier time with having a Zap-like function with API Nation. So it gives you the ability to actually bridge communications from kvCORE to a third party and gives you that ability to sync data between those applications. And I have a little rundown here that should help you gain an understanding on how it works.
Okay, new item in the marketplace, API Nation. Now, if you're familiar with Zapier.com, which bridges third-party softwares with kvCORE, API Nation does something similar, but it makes it a lot easier and more affordable. One key feature of the API Nation integration with kvCORE is that you can actually get the Facebook lead ads option. If I go here and add to kvCORE, I can get the Facebook lead ads option for free. So kvCORE users can get the free Facebook lead ads option. You don't have to pay 20 bucks a month for a Zapier account. And of course, you can see here the other integrations. There are many more that are just $5 a month, one at a time. So instead of getting a Zapier Premium, you have a direct integration with your Facebook lead ads, and it's pretty easy to set up. Let me show you how it looks. So I'm going to click Sync Now for free. Sync Facebook leads. I'm going to be clicking here. It's going to ask me to connect to Facebook. I'm going to continue. Hit OK. My pages. Now I'm going to click Connect kvCORE. Put my username and password for kvCORE in. I'm going to click Start Sync. And now it's going to ask me to select the page right here that I want to sync up. Let me actually choose a page that has a lead form attached. Forgot that. So you'll want to have a page that has a lead ad form if you're running lead generation ads on Facebook. So I'm going to do that. Then I have a bunch right here. Do my Pinellas Waterfront Land. And then the action, I'm going to click Save. The action is going to be to create a new lead in kvCORE. I'm going to filter contacts here. This is, I think, if you want to, let's see, you want to stop leads from coming in if certain criteria match coming over from Facebook. So this is if you want. Now I'm going to just go ahead and leave this empty. And then what will happen here, you see how it automatically mapped over some key fields for us from Facebook to kvCORE. So the phone number comes over, that's mapped. The ad ID, probably going to put the cell phone there. And what you'll do is you'll click the field on the left and then the field on the right that you want it to map to. So I click phone number, and then here, if I want to put my campaign name into notes, I click on the left side and you'll see it maps it all over like that. Simple point and click. But also, it sort of just did it automatically for me. See what says map automatically? It did it automatically. It didn't catch the phone right off because there were multiple phone fields in kvCORE, so I just kind of click phone number and then phone, and I'll click on here and just click Save Continue. Save to continue. And at that point, I think that we are done. Now, anytime a lead comes in through this lead ad form at Facebook lead ads, for this page, for this lead ad form, it'll then map over and come straight into kvCORE.
Now, I know this was probably a lot to take in initially when you're like, wait a minute, and then your mind starts reeling with the possibilities of what can happen. So if you want to take a tutorial on the API Nation, it's really easy to do on our dashboard via the core learning portal. All you need to do is drop down to this bottom left of your dash, and I'm popular for saying click the cap. So click the cap into that core learning portal. And this is going to open up all of our free tutorials and training, of which we include and provide for everyone. And these are available 24/7, 365, and actually track your progress, which is cool. So you can leave off and come back anytime you need to. Now, there's a couple of ways you can find this. You can either go into the kvCORE marketplace here and look for the API Nation, which would be right here, or you can go up to the search box and just type in API Nation,
Hey,
and it'll
Annalisa.
search it for you. Yes.
I think now's a good time to remind everybody. This has sort of been a recap session, right? We're not
Yep.
in the previous weeks we did some really specific topics, and maybe it might be a good idea to point out where those replays are.
Yes,
Um,
for sure.
and now might be a good time to mention. I think we're going to be taking these into more of a like Q&A kind of direction, right? Like an open office hours over the coming
Yes.
weeks. So
Yes.
this was sort of just a recap of everything. Um, and I learned a few things too, Annalisa, over the past of what's happened over the past month or two.
Well, excellent. Welcome. No, I'm kidding. But basically, you can take these courses anytime, which is really neat. And with Ryan speaking to the webinars and such, so if you have missed anything previously, of course, we post them within our discussion group. However, I've actually dropped in tiles for the webinars, and you can find them super easy just by typing in webinar and searching here at the top right. But you'll catch kvCORE webinars here, and I've got at least, I think another 20 or 30 I'm uploading in. So you can catch all of the kvCORE webinars right here that you've missed since the beginning of the year, or if you want to re-explore them. So they'll be right there for you. And you just click in and click here to start the course, and then they'll be available to you, and you can come back to them anytime. All right. Now, a couple of other new things. The first one is hovering over property views on your timelines, whether there's the activity tab or the specific contact timeline. So when you're looking at a particular activity, so if I'm looking at my dashboard, and maybe I'm looking for opportunities on a reason to call someone just to follow up, I can look at the activity. And of course, I can see my texts and all that. But if we look at this one here, we can actually learn more about this property. So when you're looking at this, it'll actually have the address and then the price, bed and bath, when you hover over it. And when you look at a particular contact, let me see if we can open up one. Let's see if Tracy's looked at any properties. Well, that's a bad example. But what will happen is when they've looked at a property, you will have a photo here, and you can actually hover over it, and the system's going to show you the property information, price, address, bed, and bath, which is pretty handy to have at a glance. Now, the last two things I'm going to cover are really either admin, office and team admin specific, or overall admin specific for owners and admin. So the first of which is lead routing. You can read more about it by opening up this article here. However, this lead routing gets a specific in it gives you the ability to add all from a specific entity, and it really makes it easier for your admins because they can actually just drop people into those lead routing rules immediately instead of one by one individually. So it's a nice handy tool, and it really just allows them to add all from the team, all from the office, or remove from team, remove from office in one fell swoop. Okay, I'm going to check to see if there's any questions. I think I saw a new one maybe pop in. So someone's saying we're losing audio. Can anybody else hear me? Is it getting kind of loosey-goosey? I hope not. Okay, and the last thing, I think what's happening is while I speak, I kind of lean forward and then I lean back. So I'm going to stop doing that. So, and the last thing I want to speak to is the listing agent timeout rule acceptance. So basically, this is a new rule that is going to allow admin, so that very top admin, super admin, can have put in place by contacting support. So this is going to impact timeouts on leads that are automatically to go to listing agents. So typically, if we track a property view on a given agent's listing, we'll automatically send that listing to the listing agent. But now that can be bypassed or set up so at least someone can pick up on that listing and respond back. So again, like Ryan mentioned, this is a recap and just a quick tour of the dashboard just to access different types of training and information. So down this left-hand side, you'll always have access to our support portal right here, where we have all of our technical documentation. We have our core learning portal here, bottom left, click that cap for access. You can also access our learning portal by going up to this top right-hand side of your dashboard. And at the bottom right-hand side, you can chat with support. You can review previous conversations. You can drop into our support portal here. You can share feedback by looking at different types of feature requests that are under review that have been submitted. You can vote them up. You can submit your own. And one last goodie I want to make sure we cover is this all systems operational. So if you log in or something's happening and you're like, I wonder if something is afoot here, you can actually always go to all systems here in your dashboard on chat. And when you click on this, it'll actually show you the status of the system. So what's operational, what isn't, has there been any downtime for all of our products within our Inside Real Estate family. You can also look at this via the support portal. So when you open up the support portal and you look at this side over here, you can click on system status. You can chat, it'll take you to your dashboard. You can email to create a case. You can even schedule a support technical call if you need to, which is pretty handy. So keep that in mind as well. That's really all I have to cover. Like Ryan mentioned, when we come back from 4th of July week, the following week, we're going to kind of change our formats up so it's a little more interactive, where we'll probably be sitting in a room saying, hey, what is your question? What do we need to go over right now to help you, create something, move forward in your leverage and use of kvCORE and the like. Anything to add, Ryan? I think we're good to go. So I will be recording this and dropping it in so it gets emailed out and sent to you all in chat. I'm going to put it in the discussion groups. And I really appreciate all of you taking the time to be here. I hope you have a great rest of the week and a fantastic and safe 4th of July week. Bye-bye.